We got an interesting update on Spider Man PS4 thanks to new info released about an upcoming big panel and way more activities that will happen during the San Diego Comic-Con, and also some new info coming from the developers with hints of a new trailer, the unlocks of the pre-order suits, and way more. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated. And let's go. Let's start with an interesting answer from the creative director on Marvel Spider-Man, Brian Intihar, on a tweet. Here you see someone ask on Twitter if there will be a story trailer for the game at San Diego Comic-Con. And instead of saying no, something he says a lot of times to questions of things that will not be in the game, here he says, I guess we will see via a teasing GIF. I mean, a new trailer would also make a ton of sense with the fact that the panel is on July 17th, a month and a half before the September 7th release. And not only because like hyping your game up before the release is something we see a lot, well, actually with Sony games, they normally drop big trailers for upcoming exclusives around this time. Take for example Horizon Zero Dawn, where we saw a story trailer on January 11th and the game launched at the end of February. With God of War as well, we saw a ton of new footage of the game a month and a half before the game came out. Detroit starting their trailers as well a month and a half before launch. It's just how Sony likes to do these things, and I think Marvel Spider-Man is no different, with of course San Diego Comic-Con being a great time to show the game off. While we did see a ton at E3, it is a while before we saw like a actual trailer for Spider-Man PS4 as well, since the E3 showcase was just a playthrough of the mission, just like we saw at E3 2017. This potential new trailer we will see during San Diego Comic-Con will likely be more comparable to the one we saw at Paris Games Week in October 2017, with Peter Parker footage as well and just more cuts to different scenes. That trailer is really awesome, so I'm curious to see what they will show at San Diego Comic-Con. So before we go take a look at other San Diego Comic-Con stuff that will be happening, I thought since we're talking Peter Parker, let's insert some things we learned thanks to tweets from developers. For example, that he will be changing clothes in the game, but that will happen on different days according to the art director at Insomniac Games. So I don't think we can like change the clothes for Peter himself, while of course this will be the case for Spider-Man. You can change the suits at any time. So if you're not familiar, you can play Peter in certain main missions of the game, so then you will also see him in different clothes. You can't play him in the open world. Some info that was known is that Peter is 23 at the time of the game and moved to Manhattan, so you can't explore other parts of New York like Queens for example, with Brian saying that they will only keep you on the island. So we already saw the map of the game at the Insomniac livestream, so we will like not cross any bridges. With missions taking place in parts of the city like the construction site from the E3 2017 demo, you can visit that in the game, and we saw what we thought was a full playthrough of that mission where we had to fight inner demons and also chase Mr. Negative. Well, the final mission will be longer according to Brian on Twitter, so that is interesting to know, because I'm not sure how they will do it, because they did not like skip anything in the E3 walkthrough. It seems like there were no cuts, so maybe there will be more enemies to fight or something. We will have to wait and see till the game is out. Earlier than that, we will have the San Diego Comic-Con panel again on July 17th on 1 PM until 2 PM San Diego local time, and it will not be streamed sadly. I still expect the trailers, if there will be any, to be put online after the panel is over, so that will be at 8 PM Central European time, 7 PM UK time. But it does not stop there in terms of new Spider-Man PS4 info. There will also be some booth discussions and signings at the Marvel booth at San Diego Comic-Con, including a Marvel Games talent signing with a lot of people from Marvel and the Insomniac team. On Friday, so the day after the Marvel Games panel, there will be some secrets revealed for Spider-Man PS4 with Ryan Pendergast, and I hope I pronounced that right, aka Marvel's Agent M. You can also follow him on Twitter, Agent M. There will be some special Spidey guests as well, so this is not a panel at Hall H, so it could totally be that this will show up as a video later, or that they will maybe live stream this. Later that day there will be a Spider-Man PS4 cosplay costume debut inspired by one of the web slingers' new suits from Marvel Spider-Man, so it could totally be that this is a suit that we don't know will be in the game, or the new pre-order suit, because we still don't know what the third one will be, and it's set to be revealed in July, very likely during the San Diego Comic-Con. I totally think that this cosplay debut, of course the name also suggests it, could be a cool way to do it. Then the final Spider-Man PS4 related thing is 45 minutes later, Marvel Games Inside the Web, with a behind the scenes look at Spider-Man PS4 from the Insomniac Games team, with details every webhead needs to know according to the article. By the way, I put a link to the full Marvel Games article with all the San Diego Comic-Con info in the description down below, so you can check it out for yourself. The game is also playable there if you are going. It's the E3 demo, so an open world demo. I think 10 minutes you can like toy around in the world, play some activities and stuff like that. So pretty cool if you are there, and you can of course also like see all the panels. But for most of you who will not be there, I'll of course cover here everything on the channel, although I will be at an awesome other event next week. So when the Marvel Games panel is happening, I will be on a plane. But as soon as I get out and find the time, I will totally do a rundown of everything you need to know and talk about the new things they showed. And then if there will be a ton of new info revealed during the discussions on the Marvel booth on Friday, I will totally cover that as well here on the channel. So totally keep an eye out for everything San Diego Comic-Con regarding to Spider-Man PS4. Then some other cool new info that I want to discuss, like some small pieces. One regarding the random crimes that happen in the open world, that you will see like an icon and then you can like go there to stop the crime. These things will be happening throughout the game and will be endless, so even if you finish the game. And according to Brian now, there will be a ton, with only 5 shown at E3. We for example had the store robberies, the car chases and the fights like on the street, but Brian says there will be way more, with a big yes. And the random crimes are just one part of the open world activities alongside actual quests. I mean, we already knew there would be side missions, but that's really one of the things we actually haven't seen in action yet. So it could totally be that the new gameplay we will see or trailers will be focused on these side missions for sure. Then something interesting regarding the pre-order suits that will of course be available for people that pre-order the game like immediately, but can be unlocked for everyone else while playing the game. But now we heard that they are hard to unlock. I mean, it makes sense that you can't unlock them like straight away, but this could make pre-ordering more interesting if you are still on the fence, if you for example want to rock the Iron Spider suit, since otherwise it will likely be a while before you can use it. Interesting, since we did not know this before. Other new info that I have not seen before is that there will be accessibility options in the menu, which is nice for people that want that of course, and that there will likely be more suits that affect the main story. We now know that you start in the classic suit and then for some reason end up in Insomniac's own advanced suit, but there might be more suits that are tied to story missions. With Brian saying that, we will see if that will be the case on September 7th. Again, not saying yes, but he does say a lot of no. So you could kind of say that there will likely be another suit tied to the story as well. And there you have it, the latest Spider-Man PS4 news. Want to bring it to you as soon as possible because of a small weekend break with friends and the upcoming exciting events I will be attending. So I might be a little later than you expect from me, but I try to get it to you as soon as possible. So totally subscribe to stay up to date on everything Marvel Spider-Man. Drop a like to support the channel. Check out my recent video on a upgrade location where you need to go in the game, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.